Jewish set designer David Korins, whose most recent work includes the blockbuster mega hit Hamilton, says building a Broadway set is not just about carpentry.
I always liken my job to a kind of a therapist, because I feel like what I do is I sit one-on-one or one-on-a-few, and we talk about, I try and pull out the inner fears or exciting pieces of people's minds, and we talk about them and we poke at them and we try and then tell a new narrative from that.
Hamilton tells the story of Alexander Hamilton, a founding father and first Secretary of Treasury of the United States.
And my task in Hamilton was to create this dynamic environment, but really stay out of the way of what is, a million incredible breakout performances, a staggering score, a phenomenal book, and to just try and support every single moment as best I could with as little as possible.
And while the musical is set throughout a variety of locations from New York City to General George Washington's tent on the battlefield, the basic scenery doesn't change much, creating a theatrical metaphor for the musical story.
The people in the show that we're depicting are creating a scaffolding from which the country will be built from. So we're not actually building the country, we're building the framework that the country can be built from in the show and also with the design. So you see this kind of wooden scaffolding thing that's kind of holding up a big brick structure, and actually between Act 1 and Act 2, no one really gets this, but the walls actually grow an additional 8 feet between Act 1 and Act 2 to show kind of progress. So we wanted to create an aspirational space, much like the country at the time.
Korins also designed a working double turntable to help move the plot along.
For my very first reading of the show, felt like there was a kind of cyclical movement, a kind of cinematic spinning of the show, partially because there's so much hurricane reference. There's a political storm, there's this kind of sex scandal storm. There is the literal storm that sweeps up Nevis and pushes Alexander Hamilton, essentially off his island and to America.
Looking back, Korins credits his career trajectory to his earliest design work, rearranging the furniture in his childhood bedroom.
And so I think there was like a little bit of like finding my own personality inside the room. You got these 4 walls, you got this furniture, but what happened inside was okay, you could move it.
Korins jokes that his mixed ethnic heritage also influenced his career path.
I'm a quarter Italian, and I think that's actually how I can build things, because if I was all Jewish, I couldn't build anything except that Jesus was a carpenter. So I don't know what to say about that.
But for now, Korins can watch and enjoy the world he built for Hamilton.
It's this profound, staggering work of genius, and I don't really say that lightly, but I really do think it is that. And I think, holy cow, I'm so lucky to be involved with it.
You can see Hamilton now at the Richard Rodgers Theater.